Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Child of Light. I'm Koala.
And I'm Bear.
So sorry last episode was a shorter one. Essentially we had technical problems.
We had a technical problem, and that's why our video was a little bit short.
Yeah, because something kind of startling came up on screen in our recording software, and we thought, oh shit, let's just stop it before we potentially lose like another 5 to 10 minutes worth of recording. So Anyway, after housekeeping, let's go ahead and start leveling people up. Be off screen, just to catch up to where I was at the end of last episode. Between then and now, like I gained a couple levels for some of the characters. So like if you see any sort of discrepancy in level numbers, that's probably why.
Really filling out the screen, huh?
Yeah, man. Yep, filling it out. As first, the thing is that a lot of them, they're almost completely maxed out, and we won't get like the next tier stuff until a little bit later in the game. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's kind of explains like the random white blocks that you can't even look at or touch.
Right.
So. Anyway, continuing on from where we were from. So earlier we were off screen, you and I were talking about something, and we kind of wanted to talk about it during the, while we were recording. But first, kind of bring it up and then a cliffhanger, because immediately I know we have a cutscene.
Yes. Oh, wait. So
you can be Aurora.
Okay. Melancholy Jester, why do you cry?
For the light. I don't know. I keep using old man voice. For the lost light, the eternal dread, the empty rooms that house the dead, the empty people that house the living, the end of this circus unforgiving. For the old man who can barely walk, for the young child who can barely talk, for you and for I, that is why I cry. See that refuse over there? The circus left me in despair. Why, you may ask, honey? Because quoth them I wasn't funny. My sister I had intended to invite. Instead I intend to end it all this night. Stop, Tristis, I am here. Rubella, do my eyes deceive this bliss? Tristis, come. Forget the circus. But our dreams bank on this. Me, a comedian extraordinaire, you, Lemuria's premier vocalist. The little lady here, Aurora, escorted me on a grand adventure. Truly, as jesters, neither of us is any good. But as warriors, we could have a crackerjack joint. Venture? We might take on the dark. With our acrobatics, flexibility, and healing prowess. Doubtless. Then Aurora, count us in. I
like the rhyming.
Yeah. So now we got our new party member, Tristis. You got the sad clown, the happy clown, and the sad clown. So, anyway, what were we talking about before?
We were talking about... We're going to segue into a different discussion. Last time we left off with... But first, let me take a selfie. Now we're going to kind of switch gears. There's not much to say about that. Selfie's a selfie, right?
Right.
Yeah, we're talking about, switch gears, talk about things that sort of make us angry when they really shouldn't. And as I say, things that make you irrationally angry that normally they just wouldn't be. You know? Anything that just gets under your skin for, like, no good reason. And there's a lot of them.
Yeah, do you want to list a couple?
Yeah, like I was saying before, this is super random, right? Again, things that make you irrationally angry. One that makes me angry is when someone takes all of my hangers, like clothes hangers. Yeah, as random as that sounds, right? Like I'll be washing my clothes, right? Things need to be hung up. I hang them up, but guess what? There's no hangers because someone took all of them. That just like makes me upset for no good reason. Well, then I gotta go hunt around the house and find clothes that have already been dried or have been sitting there for a while.
Right.
Take them off. Gotta fold them. And then I have to hang up my own clothes afterwards.
It's always that. It's always that. I feel like it kind of taps into that whole thing where it's like when you're expecting something to be there, but it's not, and it's because somebody else took it.
Right.
You know.
Right. You can share your experience with that, right?
Which one? Which one?
Let's start with the most memorable one for you.
Oh, and yeah, my older brother would frequently, quote unquote, redecorate his room. And whenever he did, he would take stuff from my room that he thought was cool or matched his theme or whatever. And then he would take my stuff conveniently, and then whatever stuff he didn't want after the redecoration, he'd throw in my room. And then usually speaking, the common theme between all of these objects that he would take or leave in my room afterwards were all originally mine.
Right.
So I would have a chair, and then he would take the chair, and then, you know, sort of like in the stereotypical middle school style of just calling people, where it was okay to call people gay or a faggot or whatever for not going along with what they're doing. You know, he'd call me all the homophobic slurs and be like, you know, oh, then like, don't worry about it, you don't even use it, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, a month or two later, when he'd do another decoration, he'd give it back to me, and then I would say, why is it in my room? And then he would just respond back, oh, I'm just giving it back to you like you wanted. Conveniently.
Right. That's
So,
annoying. Right?
Yeah.
It only works in his favor when it works for him.
Exactly. So, but as far as things just, you know, irrationally pissing me off, this is one that I actually realized like a few years ago, is that when you have ketchup, you know, for like when you get fast food or whatever, and you need ketchup, and you make like a little mound of ketchup on your plate. When someone like has ketchup, right, and then I usually just take it off the side and just slowly just kind of slice off the side of my ketchup. When someone just takes the like a French fry and just like smears it right in the middle of it and just spreads your ketchup all over.
Oh no, that actually makes me upset too.
Because I'm not OCD or anything, but like when someone does that, when I'm like, you know, keeping it clean and in place on my plate, and then someone just kind of smears it all over and like takes majority of what ketchup was left for like one French fry, it's like at that point you're just having ketchup. You're not having French fries anymore.
No, that's just annoying, man. Because if you take a fry, here's what I do. When I take a fry, I dip it in the side or middle, whatever.
Right.
But I keep it neat.
Right.
Because if you spread it out, you're gonna lose the ketchup, especially if you put it on a napkin.
Right.
The napkin's just gonna absorb it, and then you're gonna lose all that ketchup.
Right.
For one, that's a waste. But two, why do that in the first place?
Right. But
yeah, I'm with you on that.
I feel like kind of in that same vein, when people, like, you know, when they want to use ketchup, right? They get like a bottle of ketchup and they squirt out like this giant pile of ketchup that you and everyone else around them sure as hell know they're not going to use all of it. Yeah. It's like, why use extra ketchup when you're not going to use it just for the sake of like being like, oh yeah, I have a lot of ketchup.
Yeah, that's just a waste, man.
Yeah.
Alright, who should I be?
Oh, you can be Tristis.
Alright. Faint light, are you a spirit?
Hey, watch it. I'm warm and bright.
What a sad sight. In the darkest night, one little light makes me weep.
Good grief.
I should have brought a more sad voice to that. That was.
Yeah, I didn't exactly know how to. I'm not exactly an actor or a voice actor. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting how they went with that, like that stereotypical acting sad clown, happy clown. You know, Tristis is like the sad face, and Rubella is the happy one.
Yeah, you always see even those sort of the cartoon-ish.
Yeah, like the
red and
cartoonish
blue,
masks.
and one is
happy.
It's like an all-white face with like the cutouts for eyes and mouth.
Right.
And one's happy and then one's sad.
Yep.
And they're always next to each other in sort of a pair.
Right. But briefly going back, make sure to leave a comment down below as far as what irrationally pisses you off. Whether, like, what pet peeve do you have that just irrationally pisses you off? Is it the ketchup? Do you agree with the ketchup? Or do you think we're crazy for not doing what pisses us off? You know, leave a comment down below.
Yeah, and then along the same lines, there are also the people who say, you know, they don't want anything.
Oh,
You want some fries? Nah. You get your fries. They eat half of them.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that... I mean, not to be sexist or anything, but isn't that like the general joke that a lot of male comedians make about their wives?
Yep.
You know, like I saw one where it's like the guy, he's like, he's hungry. It's been a lazy day. Him and his wife, you know, didn't feel like cooking or anything. So he's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go get fast food for myself. Hey, do you want anything, honey? Oh, the cutscene. Nice to march beside ya. I'm hoping I'm not prying, bah. Bah. Why are tears drawn on your face?
To import the humor of life.
Oh, I don't get it.
Impart. I'm sorry. I saw. Wow.
Yeah, you can't really see the...
Yeah, I can't really see. Sorry that. Exactly right.
Anyway, so yeah, every time they add a new partner to the group, usually they have these cutscenes to kind of like flesh them out a little bit more.
I thought you were gonna do a Gimli voice.
A Gimli voice?
Yeah. It would be kind of difficult to do, but
yeah, I'm not that great at that, so.
I got the reference, huh? You got the reference.
Oh yeah, you got the reference. Good for you.
Yep. Yep. I think you've mentioned it before. Just disclaimer, I have not... Well, now I have seen some of the classics that most people have. And
I think we brought it up, but we never actually, like, followed through with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to... You can talk about that or not, but I'm just going to let the
we can talk about it now. We can flesh it out more, because right now I'm actually going to a boss fight.
Ooh, look at that. That's like a...
So there's actually 3 new creatures in this one. So the boss itself is actually a creature we fought before, and then these ones are just variants of ones that we fought previously.
Did we name that one?
Which one?
This flying griffin looking half bird.
We did, but I don't remember what we called it, to be quite honest.
I don't remember either. I'm thinking Gryffindor.
Maybe.
I feel like I said that.
Yeah, probably. But
probably.
Like, you know, you can give this its own name, because usually bosses, generally speaking, are at least like mid bosses and whatnot are variants.
Or did I say Peter Griffin?
You said one of them.
I said one of those too. I'm really bad at this.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you're not meant to be a biology major, right?
I'm really not. This is why I didn't study biology.
But yeah. So, what would you like to name? Let's say let's start with the boss. What would you like to name the boss?
Peter Griffin.
Just go with Peter Griffin.
I'm so bad at this now that I think about it. I'm sorry. I'm letting you down, viewers. But I can assure you, I am trying at least 25%.
Yeah, you suck.
Ah.
But yeah, so
hey, at least I don't die.
Would you would you like to name the like these dark creatures that are here?
You name them.
Because there's other variants of them. There's like we've run into fire ones. We've run into the standard white ones.
Looks like a Dementor.
A Dementor.
Jesus, I'm on a Harry Potter sort of
mood
today.
Yeah. So are you going with Dementors?
Yeah, Dementors.
Dementors is not a bad one.
Yeah, it's just not original like my half the other names that I've come up with.
Yeah, other ones like I like the Queen Bee or Queen Beyonce or Beyonce or whatever you named it. The previous boss, the Spider Queen.
Right.
Yeah.
Queen Bee.
Queen Bee.
And that was a pop reference.
Yeah.
Culture reference, music reference, all in one. Which, by the way, did you laugh at that skit I sent you?
Which one was that?
The one about Beyonce's, the SNL skit.
Oh right, yeah.
About
where everyone's freaking out because they then realize that Beyonce's black.
Yeah.
But. Yeah.
Funny. Check out that skit, everyone.
But...
By SNL, mocking Beyonce. That one. Oh, and there's another one that SNL did a while back about the Bagency. It was a play on of the movie The Agency, where if you don't agree with the party, this omnipotent party, you basically shun. You ever see that movie or heard about it?
Which movie was it? What was it?
It's called The Agency.
I don't think I have, actually.
Alright, so it's like this... I don't remember the concept of the movie, the plot, but the premise is around this character who is getting hunted because he doesn't agree with this sort of, again, this omnipotent all-knowing agency, and they follow you around. They know everything. They can track your moves.
Right.
So they did a skit. SNL did a skit where they mocked that. Where if you didn't like Beyonce, they came after you. So just imagine this scenario. It's Friday night. It's people after work. They're having wine, talking in the living room, laughing.
Right.
And it's all like the way they set up the scene is just typical.
Right.
And then one person goes, "You heard that new Beyonce album?" And then everyone's, "Oh, it's great. Oh, I loved it. Couldn't everything I wanted." And then one guy goes, "It's all right." Right? And then the candle in the background just goes out. The lights go out. And then it goes dark and the music changes and the whole mood just turns dark.
Right.
And then one of them goes, "You need to run now!" And then and then they just go out. It's funny. You gotta check it out.
Yeah,
but it plays on the fact that Beyonce is basically this artist that everyone loves, and if you don't agree with it, you will be ostracized.
I feel like Adele's reached that point recently.
I agree. I would also come.
Where
to
like
the
you
same
can't. It gets to the point where you can't comment on it from like a critical standpoint, where you can't just say something along the lines of, "Yeah, the album was good, but I felt like towards the middle of the album it was weaker," or whatever. Any sort of negative is automatically seen as an attack, which if you're objectively critical, then you should be able to do that. But again, when it comes to people being super fans, so to speak, then you can't really do that objectively.
Or else you'd be saying hello from the outside.
Right? But something that we brought up before, but we never really finished, was the fact that the whole seeing cultural movies that most it's assumed that most people have seen it, but you haven't until recently.
Right. For the record, those of you watching, that list included Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and I probably should admit this because now you're gonna get on my case, but I haven't seen any of the Star Treks.
Star Trek, I mean, I've only seen a few of them. I'm more of a Star Wars fan than I am a Trekkie one. But I feel like for a lot of like the true hardcore fans, you're either one or the other.
Yeah.
Because usually speaking, there's like the Trekkie versus the Star Warsians, so to speak.
Star Warsians.
I don't think that's the actual name of the crew or whatever, but I'm just gonna call it that.
Well, factions aside, this whole me not seeing all those movies has been swiftly rectified.
By me.
By you, Koala.
Yeah. The fact that you hadn't seen those was definitely something.
I've gotten a lot of flack for that, and I'll tell the story again. I'm not sure if I did already, but I was talking to one of my friends, and he goes, "What? You never seen Star Wars?" I was like, "No, I haven't." I get that. That's kind of strange, because most people have.
Right.
He's like, "You haven't seen Star Wars?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, so wait, what's your point? He goes, "I don't know, it's like you being like, an IT person and all." I'm like, what does that mean? You kidding? What does that mean?
I mean, that's usually how it is. Like, those are kind of like the nerd, like the stereotypical nerd movies, you know what I mean?
Right.
So like when a nerdy person says, "Oh, I haven't seen those," that's the equivalent of saying, like, giving away your like geek badge and being like, "I'm not."
Correct.
Truly,
it's like you're not truly.
Yeah, you cannot hold that title without watching said movies at all. You slut.
Man, and it was and plot twist. He's a nerd himself. I mean, he could quote Lord of the Rings movies.
Taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Taking the hobbits to Isengard.
God.
I thought it was funny that he went along with it, and while he was on set, recorded a reaction. Or not a reaction. Oh god, I don't want to talk about reaction videos.
Oh boy, that's not.
A response video. Man, we could. That's a whole like 3 episode discussion.
That's just a whole rant. I mean, people have made like YouTube's covered in those rants, so I don't think we want.
Rightfully so.
I don't think we want to delve into that.
No.
This is a slow trek. Long battle because this a-hole decided to slow us down. Even though I probably made a unwise decision by sticking with just these two, like our tried and true characters, but you know, whatever. It would probably be better if I.
Whoa. Getting wrecked.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know, I'm just.
You
gonna,
can do it. You can do it.
I'm gonna stick out Nora.
Nora, I choose you.
I choose you, Nora. But yeah, it would probably be wiser to just have some sort of status ailment, you know, while we can do it.
Oh man.
Peter.
I used to do that even better.
Really?
Yeah. It would actually sound like Lois Griffin.
Really?
Yep. What, you don't believe me?
I don't know.
Well, hey, judging from your voice acting thus far.
True.
Ooh.
Fair enough.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. 79. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, this is the main brunts of the battle is having a bunch of enemies who are on different points of the timeline and having to dodge between defending and attacking so you don't get interrupted and stuff, and having to deal with all of that.
This is so sad, but I see those arrows as Reddit downvotes.
Clearly, you've been on the forum too much recently.
Way too much. Way too much.
But for good reason, considering the fact that your phone is practically just like shitting itself.
Correct.
Oh, we're in a nice loop right now. We keep automatically petrifying it thanks to Nora's ability.
Whoa, it's completely frozen.
Yeah, we slowed it down, but now it's completely frozen, so now we can just kind of wail on it.
Dang.
Yep, there we go.
Wow, lots of
I should have just picked Nora from the start.
Should have.
So all the level ups.
I think it was funny. It was like sad and then happy.
Right. So I guess this would probably be a good point to finish off. So I guess check us out next time. Like, comment, subscribe, share, comment, subscribe, and make sure to catch the next episode. Child Light. See you guys all then.
Bye.
Bye.